Welcome back to another episode of Critical Affection, where we affectionately criticize the pop culture that we love. And today we're going to talk about Firefly and Serenity to a certain extent. And we're talking about that today because it is one of the bigger inspirations for my comic book that is currently on BackerKit. And that's Noctiluca, which I could show you. I guess I can show you the link to get you there. And then we can maybe look at the campaign a little bit here. We are
Be clear, there's going to be spoilers about Serenity and Firefly, but not Luca.
Not Luca, yeah. Oh, I forgot to change my color back to yellow. I can't carry on with the show until we make the color yellow.
Time out. We started on time, but we got to stop.
There we go. It's fine. Everything's fine.
Game on.
Crisis averted. Okay, share screen. We're going to do the thing now. There we go. So much work. Okay. So. There, that's better. So. We don't, okay. Oh, why are you doing that? I don't like that. Go away. Problem. Okay, at least it's not playing actively. That would suck. So, Noctiluca is a ongoing series about a thief and her crew. She used to be a government operative, and we're gonna find out more about that later down on the line. So I'm not going to spoil that. Just she used to work for the government. She found some stuff out about what she was doing that was not to her liking. And so she respectfully left the job. And now she got herself a crew of various miscreants. And they travel around doing jobs. And it's... Sometimes those jobs are legal, sometimes they're not so legal, but they will do work for just about shit, usually stealing stuff, but it's just about anybody who can pay, they'll take the job. And I actually recently, just last week, Amanda, you told me about Leverage, and I started watching it. I think I'm 5 episodes in now, and I'm like, holy shit, this is like Leverage in space. It's not a guy running the things. Like, there's no guy in charge. It's her. She's in charge. But I was like, this is kind of... like, I'm a little concerned. Like, why did I develop Leverage independent of Leverage? But I guess that's how ideas work, isn't like, there's no such thing as an original idea. So, but now I know that, and I guess it was very clear right away, maybe 2 episodes in, that I was like, yeah, I'm gonna borrow from this too. so it's fine. It worked out in the end. But I legit never even heard of Leverage, and then saw that and watched it a little, and I'm like, I did. I accidentally wrote Leverage in space.
So, fans of Leverage, come back, Luca.
Yeah, now I've got to add that to the thing. Like, I've got to add that Leverage is also, if you like Leverage, you'll probably like this one. Although they are more do-gooders, like they do jobs for people who need help, and they don't necessarily worry about whether or not they can get paid,
right, in
money anyway. So, they're kind of more Robin Hood-y than our crew is. So, I'm so tired, you guys. I'm so tired right now. I was never gonna cancel the show for tonight, but I am so tired that I was like, there's a chance things won't be super coherent, and they're not that coherent when I'm not tired. So, this will be interesting. But I forgot to tell you anybody's names, and the fact that there's a completely different person here today who's not here to hawk a comic book. Like, usually when we've got a special guest, they're hawking a comic book, and Amanda's friend Sabrina's here, and
Hi.
she just has some strong opinions about Firefly.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not so much as quiet as I am charging my battery for when it's my turn to talk.
That's cool.
Just
That works.
winding,
Yep,
winding, winding.
buffering.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, we've got really pretty art. So there's some spicy stuff happening in here. There's explicit scenes. And I realize that's not everybody's cup of tea, which is why I made a less explicit version for those of you who would like to read the story but aren't so crazy about the nudity and the sexual content. It's cool. Not everybody is. I'm fine with that too. And so I made a version where like anything that you would find in an R-rated movie, I guess, is where we're standing with this. And that's, I guess, America R-rated movie. I don't know what other countries' rating systems are, but my point is that anything that if it's more explicit than what you've seen in most R-rated movies, then it's not going to be in the sweet version of this book. It'll only be in the spicy version. So,
And you didn't take anything out of the story either. You just kind
Right.
of tactfully excised the explicit.
yes, I will be honest. It's exactly the same story, but there was one line that unfortunately I did have to change, like one line of dialogue, and it's because what was said was very explicit too. So it actually made me think maybe I should just change it completely, but I didn't. We'll see.
If you released around Christmas time, you could have had the naughty and the nice version.
Yes. I did consider calling it Naughty and Nice, but that's what everybody calls their clothed and nude covers, and so I was like, eh. And also, if you're gonna do a fun little, so for the pledge levels here, just change it. Completely. It's doing the thing! I knew it was gonna do it! Ugh! Yeah, is there anything worse than the sound of your own voice? I don't know if there is. But anyway. Oh crap, we got Kyron's here. Looks so cool, thank you.
Hey, Karen.
Leverage in space sounds like a great sales pitch. That's what I was like. I was watching it and going, I kind of made leverage in space, and now I'm like, is that bad though? I don't think it is. Some of the acting in Leverage is a little cheesy, but that's a 2010s era TV show for you. But anyway, so yeah, like if we did naughty and nice instead of spicy and sweet, then the chili pepper and the lollipop, like I wouldn't have been able to do that quite the same. I don't know what
I
what
think
I would
spicy
use.
and sweet is really.
So yeah, and if you're interested in that, and you like, if that's your easy way of telling which one is what. If you don't want the explicit scenes, then go for the one with the lollipop on it. If you don't mind the explicit scenes, grab that chili pepper. Grab it!
There is actually a thing called swicy that is the spicy and sweet together, like when you have a sweet chili sauce.
Mm-hmm.
It's been the hot flavor for a little bit.
I do believe I've heard that word, yes.
Yep.
I don't have any spicy stuff on here, though. You only get one or the
sweet
other.
and spicy, so the entire site is spicy.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, the sweet version isn't that sweet. Like, it's not that sweet. It's still pretty. It's like it's just like if you left this comic on your coffee table and your kid got a hold of it and started flipping through it, they're not going to see anything that you're going to have to explain later. It's like, like it's there's instead of the more explicit stuff, we replaced it with like, oh, they're making out, they're kissing. You can explain that to your kid. They're kissing. That's not weird. But it'd be harder to explain some of the other stuff without getting a little too intense for a young child. So don't leave that one out on the coffee table. But this one, probably don't leave the sweet version out either. But if you accidentally do, you're not going to traumatize your kid as much. So that's what spicy and sweet are. That's why I wanted to point, because I wanted to make sure, because that seems like everybody's really happy, or not happy, but like they're really on board with this idea. And so I want to make sure you know that I got it here. I got it for you. Let's see. We got covers. We got this one's by Val I mess up her name, but Sanwa. I'm messing it up, and I'm sorry. Because she said it out loud to me one time a year and a half ago. And I'm horrible about remembering that. Anyway, Val did this one. And it's got the nude version as well. This one's by Katie Rooston. And Katie's been on the show before. She's awesome. And she did, like, how did she make that actually look shiny? Like, I think she was talking about how she could have made it shiny. I was like, but you don't need to. It's shiny, leathery, latexy, whatever. It's good. This one's by Allison Caetano. And I found Kai on Reddit. So if you're looking for, like, inexpensive, you have to wade through a lot of weird shit, I'm not gonna lie. But there are a lot of good artists on Reddit. And don't discount them. Yeah, there's some good artists on there. And we were making many a joke. Not just me and my friends. Like, I was actively directly making these jokes with Kai as he was doing this art and showing it to me, showing the progress pictures. I was like, she has some huge boobs. Like, that's crazy. And I was like, I'm okay with it. It's fine.
I'm a little concerned how she can go from an A cup to a G cup. Like, are they inflatable?
Maybe? I don't know.
That could be a plot point, like, oh, so we have to sneak through this tiny little duct. And they all look at her, and she's like, oh no, they go down.
Okay. You said there's a comic. Once was a comic called Naughty and Nice. What was it about? Inquiring minds want to know. Naughty
Very
and Nice.
kindly worded instructions on how to tie knots for ships.
Yes, for ships.
Absolutely. Yeah. Camera Lapka. God, why doesn't it just center? Camera Lapka did this one. This was I tried to execute this particular concept like 11 different times, and then I was just like, this is bullshit. I can't do this. This is a deceptively complicated angle to draw a person. And people aren't easy to draw to begin with, so I just kind of gave up, and I was like, and I saw it, because I gave up specifically because I saw Camry advertising that she was finally open for commissions again, and I was like, hey, you got a minute for this? And she did. And she did a great job. It's very cheeky. It's very clever. I like it. And then I think this is the winner for the most popular one by far. I'll have to go back and double check, but like the Die Hard homage has been the most popular one so far. Almost positive. And that one was done by Toriki May over on Instagram, so go look them up. They have a lot of like cyberpunky, cartoony stuff. It's really cute, and definitely hire them. Tell them I sent you. Like, they're not the fastest because they have. I think they might be in school, but also like they're just not as experienced as these other very seasoned comic artists. They're just faster because they're more experienced. It's fine though. Like, look at that art. It's really cute. All right, let's see. Add-ons, acrylic figure. And it's going to have the clothed version on one side and the nude version on the other. So you're going to get both of those. And you can flip it back and forth depending on what kind of day you're having. T-shirt. Nothing special about this one, I guess. It's just the logo. It's a cool logo, though. And then I'm weird and I make soap for fun. And so I decided to make a soap that was themed for the main character, Luca. And it smells, I don't know, I keep saying it smells like a pretty woman. That's what it's supposed to smell like, right? And then I kind of modeled it after Val's cover with the colors. That was what I was going for. It's not exactly, you guys, my co-hosts here, they saw all the various attempts, and this is just the one that turned out the nicest, I think.
I can tell you put a lot of work into it, but I also suspect soap making is a slippery slope.
I will hurt you.
Try it.
Let those emotions bubble to the surface.
You guys are both fired.
Hey,
Both of you
hey,
fired.
It's just good, clean fun.
Fuck you. Okay.
What are you gonna wash my mouth out with?
Just give her a minute. She can totally handle this.
So anyway, cross collab covers. I'm collaborating with Valhalla with it's by Blaze Publishing, and Ben Fisher wrote it. Ben's super cool, and I don't know how much you guys are gonna take his word for things, but he said that Noctiluca was really good. He said it was funny and sexy. His exact words. So if you think Ben Fisher's a good writer, then take his word for it, not mine. And we're gonna do, if both of these have to fund, so that's the big thing. There's like, we have to fund Luca and Valhalla. Valhalla has funded, so we're no problem there. But Luca needs to fund too, and then everybody who backed gets a short story collection that's gonna be by Ben and me. And maybe Brian and Amanda too. I don't know. Like if I run into a roadblock, they're my first go-tos about like help me fix the story. so it might be by them too. They might get a writing credit on it. We don't know. It'll happen.
Happy to help.
It'll be fine.
Happy to help.
I appreciate that. So let's see. Yeah, we're not gonna worry about stretch goals because I don't think we're gonna need to worry about stretch goals. And spicy and sweet versions of every book, with the nude cover obviously only being on the spicy versions. But the clothed covers you can get them all on both spicy and sweet. And you can get the cover collection for those that did nude covers. And add-ons. Bloop, right there. You can, if you just want cover A and cover C, that's how you do it. Add-ons. And then everybody go and like interact with my stuff on here. Like I'm putting up posts nearly every day. Go interact with it. I feel like I'm screaming into the void. Go interact. Do the thing. And yeah, that's it. If you have any questions about Luca, now's a great time to ask them because I can answer them in real time. Otherwise, go to that community page and knock yourself out, and I will see those. That sends me an email every day, whether I like it or not, about what's going on my community page. So I'll hear it. I'll know about it. And I'm pretty excited about this book. Even if it doesn't fund, it'll be fine. Like I'll just wait until I have a few more followers, a few more fans. Maybe I'll release a few more pages. I don't know. Well, the thing is that I have to. The reason that I didn't release more pages because I would have given you guys more pages on the campaign, but they're not all colored, and I wanted to not show. I didn't want to show you too many of the uncolored pages, so that's really all it is. And I have Martina Rossi coloring them, and she is so good and so fast too. So once I get the funds from the campaign, I'm just gonna throw her fee at her and just be like, here you go, and then she'll have it done probably in a week. It'll be so fast. And otherwise, like if you want to see more panels, nobody's really saying anything about what they want to see, but if you want to see more panels of the uncolored stuff, I'm happy to oblige. But there's a couple of really funny pages in there that Val just killed with the art, so I would show those off if I was asked nicely. Anyway, if you have any questions about that, throw it in the comments and we'll talk about it now. But while we wait for any comments, let's talk about Firefly.
Yeah.
We are going to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. I know y'all know that I love Firefly, but I am aware of its shortcomings, and I agree with a lot of them. I don't agree with all of them, but I do agree with a lot of them. So, opening thoughts. You want to start, Amanda, because you're like on top with me?
Sure. opening thoughts is that it's an interesting show for it because time and place it had a following, and then it ended up being growing sort of a cult following.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a story about underdogs, and it became an actual underdog show. So I think that kind of made a little feedback loop for the
Mm-hmm.
fans to be like, yes, underdog. And they never really had an opportunity to grow it out to maybe rectify some of the shortcomings.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it was terribly deeply flawed in many ways, which we now know. And yeah, its history has not been kind to a lot of the pieces, and but people
Yeah.
still really like the fact that it was an underdog series that had like
Mm-hmm.
a group of misfits that become a family at its core, which is
Yeah.
always gonna have an appeal.
Yeah. It's funny, like we say that about like every show that we've talked about, every show or movie that we've talked about that is at least 10 years old. Some of them not even that long. And we're like, yes, this aged poorly. It's like, that's how time works, right? I think
No,
it
there
would
are
be,
many that age well.
well, that's true. And we haven't really, I mean, no movie is without sin, but we haven't really talked about a lot of them where we're like, this is a great movie even now. I think we've had a couple, but we're closing in on like 30-ish episodes of this particular iteration of the show. I know we had like over 100 episodes of the other one, but that's not this one. This is not this one anymore. This is a new one that has the same name as the old one. It's because I made it up and I really liked it, and I thought I was fucking clever as shit for coming up with that, and I'm not ready to let go, okay? It's
Fair
my
enough.
show and I can do what I want.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay. Sabrina, what are your like opening thoughts about the show?
It had so much potential and promise, and it got squandered by Suits, by the I think it was Fox that was the network that was on it at the time. I came in late in the game. I didn't see it when it was like televised live. I saw it when it was out on DVD. So from what I understood, it had the potential to be like the next Buffy and Angel, but it was never really given a fair shake. And as I've gotten older personally, I'm very glad that it didn't, because Joss Whedon as a teenager was my hero. Like you had somebody who wrote very like strong female characters, which in the 90s, especially the mid to late 90s, was almost unheard of. And then as time passes and the mask cracks, you realize, he has a lot of problematic viewpoints that do reflect on his work when you look at it through a different lens at a different time. But sticking to Firefly, it had promise. But it fell flat. It crashed and burned.
Yeah, you can definitely blame Fox is famous for either canceling shows way too early and not giving them a chance, or letting them go far beyond their shark jumping moments. Like they're just really bad at TV shows, like at managing TV shows, aren't they? Brian, what do you think?
So I watched it again once it was out in DVD, or I pirated it. I can't remember. Definitely didn't pirate it. And
We don't do that here.
No, absolutely. Anyway, so it influenced a lot of what I have written. That plucky folks in kind of a hard sci-fi universe. They do a good job of explaining things like, oh yes, these ships have artificial gravity. They don't explain how it works, and for the type of show it is, they shouldn't have to. But they do a good job with that. They don't use sound in space. Thank you.
I can tell that's a pet peeve. You don't even need to explain it, and you're just like, the sigh said it all.
Yes, exactly. And showing that sort of setting can be entertaining really influenced me a lot. And I didn't then look too in detail about the problematic aspects of the show, and I'm actually here to learn some of them.
Yeah, to be fair, I didn't either for the longest time. It was just a few years ago, in fact, that somebody pointed out the obvious, most glaring problem with the show, which I guess let's talk about that now. It's the Confederacy stuff, right? That's the biggest problem, right? Let's talk about that first. What the hell, right? I actually did find an interview that Joss did that I don't think he straight up said it. He said he had been reading a lot of literature about the Civil War and about the Confederacy, and then that he strongly implied that he wrote this to be a what if the Confederacy won situation, and which I guess would make our guys the good guys, but also they weren't the rebels. The Confederacy was the rebels. The rebels, it's confusing to me, but like it's very strongly implied that he took a lot of inspiration from the Confederacy, which at least he didn't take the very worst parts of it and shoehorn that in there, but also didn't he?
Didn't he?
Yeah. Yeah.
Not recognizing that crib noting something like that comes with a lot of baggage.
Yeah, it's real hard to
maybe
reference
should be-
anything with the Confederacy without. That's more than an elephant in the room. That's a blue whale in the room. That's several blue whales in the room.
And trying to claim that your good guys were, I guess, the Union, but they're the browncoats and are otherwise coded as Confederates,
Yeah.
is a little awkward.
Yeah, see, he never should have said anything about it, really, because if he would have just been like, yeah, this is, I mean, everybody, we were going to make the connection eventually.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody was going to make the connection sooner or later, so, but, like, he should have been like, oh, I didn't even think about that, even if it wasn't true, he should have lied. He shouldn't have said,
Yeah.
he shouldn't have said what he said about it, he shouldn't have said that, oh, yeah, I totally did that, because, like,
Because then
that, yeah.
every piece and every layer that gets connected and unrevealed is extra gross.
yeah, it's
The Apache
tainted.
are apparently the Reavers.
What? Okay,
Yep.
I didn't hear about that. The fuck?
Yeah.
I learned that today.
And yeah. So
Rude.
like the mindless savages. But don't worry, it's in the future, and it's we did it to ourselves. But like he said, that's where the inspiration, like tie-in, came from, and I'm like, oh, big oof.
No,
Yep.
when to fold them.
Yeah, no, he should.
Oh,
That
we're
was okay.
29 minutes in. I can
That's
swear.
an even.
Good.
I don't know. That's an even. I think maybe because like everybody knows the Confederacy tie-ins now, but like maybe he should have shut the fuck up about that. Because I did not make that connection. I mean, yeah, like using the word savage is apt sometimes, but it has been. I don't want to say tainted. It's been changed. Like the word savages in America
A lot of baggage.
specifically. What's that?
Whole baggage, whole
Yeah,
lot of
baggage,
baggage
yes.
and connotation.
You can't
and,
just say
yeah.
that without. You are going, even if you don't. What you're saying has nothing to do with Native Americans in any way. If you weren't thinking about that, if you're never thinking about that, like if you say the word savages, you are going to pull some aspect of that whole thing into the minds of the people listening to you. And I didn't. I genuinely didn't make that connection. But like I just said, when they referred to the Reavers as savage, it was there. It was there in my head the whole time. Maybe not consciously, but it was there.
Yeah, because if it's a Western in
Now,
space,
unfortunately, now it makes all too much sense.
yeah.
That's disappointing. I mean, there's so much to love about this story. Why did they have to fuck it up like that? God damn it! I didn't pull that part for my book, just so we're clear. That is not in the book.
Not in the book.
Mostly the misfit teamwork is where, like, that's where I was coming, like the chemistry between the crew, the team, that's where I pulled that from, because they do have a lot of chemistry. But let's get all the bad shit out of the way here first, because, Confederacy stuff and anti-Native American stuff, I did not know that, and I'm gonna spend the whole rest of this week being sad about that.
Understandably.
Ugh, damn it. Okay, what else? Sabrina, what else? What you were talking about some stuff.
So I think it was the very first episode when the Reavers come to the ship, and you see Inara with her syringes. Like, she opens up a box and there's a bunch of needles. Originally, like, the audience member that's left up for interpretation. However, what Mr. Whedon wanted to do was to have that be a poison that she would inject onto herself, so that if somebody sexually assaulted her, and that's the most sterile way I'm going to put it, they would die from the poison because it would transmit from her body to the Reaver. And so it was going to happen off screen, but what you would see is them coming to her, and I wish I was making this up. This is in one of it's in a biography. I'll get the title. But essentially they're going to assault her off screen, and then the next shot was going to be her walking away with like a pile of dead Reavers around her to insinuate that that's what happened to her.
Okay,
Yep.
I knew about the vial and what it was supposed to be for, but
Yep.
Yeah, apparently Josh Whedon floated that idea the first season, and it wasn't particularly
I'm
well
so
received.
glad that some people at least reined him in a little, because like y'all didn't rein him in nearly enough.
Nope.
Just so we're clear, but at least that didn't make it into the final cut. Oh my god.
That they totally would have if the seasons had gone on. Back to the whole probably better
Yeah,
that they
and-
didn't.
Yeah.
I read about some stuff about her. Like later on, we're finding out that she's got some kind of incurable disease. They kind of
Yep.
made
Yep.
it sound like tuberculosis because, of course, that's the sexiest disease, right?
Of course.
Well, and of course you have to, have the whore get sick and be someone who's
Exactly.
going to
Yeah.
Because
die.
she's not pure.
She's
Nope.
not pure.
And that's something that I can get off on a huge tangent about as far as Joss Whedon's works, is
Oh
that
yes.
if you're not like this puritanical character, he will rake that character over the coals. I can do a whole PowerPoint presentation on how he did most of the Buffy and Angel characters dirty. However, sorry.
Yeah, no, but you're right. That's not a Firefly thing. That is a Joss Whedon thing. Anything that he's touched, you can probably find. I mean, it's probably in the fucking Avengers somewhere.
Oh yeah, Age of Ultron. If you rewatch Age of Ultron,
fucking Ultron. God damn it.
all of the Black Widow goes from this badass assassin who can kick your ass just by glaring at you to this now, boys, don't do
Yeah,
that.
that fucking mommy shit. Oh my
Yep.
god.
Mm-hmm.
I saw, like, when that started happening, I was like, oh no. And then by the end of the fucking, I was like, puke?
Yep.
And like that was her. That was like the meanest thing that ever happened to her, was for her to be rendered unable to have children. Was that one, or was that the next one? Doesn't matter. The point is, you don't have to be able to bear children to have worth. Okay, Joss.
And on the flip side of that, when Charisma Carpenter got pregnant on the set of Angel, he did her so dirty. He assassinated Cordelia Chase's character. Any growth and development, he just roundhouse kicked that bitch onto a dumpster fire. It was amazing. And I
Yeah.
mean that in a derogatory way. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Jesus.
He also asked her, was telling her she was getting fat, and asked if she was going to keep it.
Yep.
Okay, I knew about the fat stuff, but like,
Yeah, he straight up asked her if she was going to keep the baby.
why was he worried it was his? What a fucking piece of shit this guy is.
Yeah,
and you
that's-
know, we used to be so we admired the shit out of him for his views in the 90s.
Yeah.
And like, this is what happens when you refuse to update your beliefs and your views
Yeah.
as you learn more. That's the fucking scientific
I
method.
feel like we should have been tipped off by the fact that he kept proclaiming himself a male feminist.
Yeah.
Had to shove the male into the feminism.
Yeah, you are a feminist or you're not. It's
No.
you don't need a fucking adjective in front of it.
True.
Unless
So
you're saying like militant, maybe.
perhaps, though I would say, like, because the 90s I remember was a Wild West, like, especially in pop culture. Whoo boy. So I can see why we had our blinders on when he's like, oh, I'm a male
Absolutely, yeah.
feminist.
Yeah,
Like,
when you compare it to the other stuff of the time,
yep.
it kind
Absolutely.
of blended right in and was maybe even floating to the top of the pile.
And
Yep.
that is one of the positives for the show, is that it had several strong female lead characters instead of just the
Yes.
one token female who may or may not have been a strong lead.
Right.
He
Yes.
absolutely ends up doing them dirty in all the different ways. We discussed what happens with our companion,
Mhm.
and I mean, she just has everything hurled on her for being a whore and this and that,
Mhm.
and
Yeah, the
it's
main
supposed to be
character in
considered
particular.
clever that she stands up to him, and that's
Mhm.
he's like a schoolboy who's pulling her pigtails because he likes her, so he calls her nasty names, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's not a power dynamic you
So
want.
annoying, yeah.
And
And
then
that's the stuff that we didn't notice when we first watched it because that was the way things were, and now the way things were is no longer the way things are, and it's like, yeah, looking back, we should have noticed that shit. That should have been a problem for us then.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
So
I
that-
was dazzled by by just the novelty of the story, and like we didn't get a lot of space stories that were, real life but in space. So
not only that, but Joss Whedon had this knack for writing very quippy back and forths, and being able to have this whole, yeah, we're a ragtag team, but we're also family, and we've got each other's backs, even though some of us are in the gray morally,
Mhm.
that sort of thing. So it's easy to be distracted by the snappy dialogue. The one thing I'll say about Firefly, and Serenity, is that the costume designs, the set designs, everything it's so beautiful to look at,
Mhm.
especially for when it came out.
Mhm.
And they
Yo.
did really well to make it sort of gritty, believable-ish. They
Yeah.
showed a toilet, which for anything that's a space adventure is
Right.
just never had. They didn't do it.
It's in any show, like they hardly ever show their characters using the bathroom. They barely even reference it in conversation, unless it's a joke. Like, we were rewatching some Brooklyn Nine-Nine last week, and like the toilet, whenever the toilet was referenced, it was the butt of a joke. It was Scully and Hitchcock being gross, or it was Amy accidentally breaking the toilet, or something. It was played for comedy, not for like, hey, some
Realism.
people really genuinely do poop,
Yeah.
Not everybody,
Allegedly.
of course, but some people do. Women don't. I mean, that's my nephew told me that when he was 4, that girls don't poop. And I was
So
like,
what?
but your mom is a girl. She poops. If you met my sister, that'd be a lot funnier. But the point is that she's one of those girls that like sit on your head and fart on you. So she never cared about that stuff. So she's one of those people. Real fun at parties, So anyway, yeah, the toilet was a really cool little addition there.
Detail?
Yeah, the details are where it's at in this show. I mean, it's too bad they didn't put that kind of thought into the overarching bad themes, but
And I will counterpoint as well that for all that it's supposed to be a bunch of details and world building, they say that it's supposed to be like a melding of Eastern and Western, that there's a lot of
Yeah.
Chinese influence, but they only just smatter in a few words that are generally not pronounced all the way okay.
yeah, that's
And they
one
didn't
of the
really
things
have
when I
Asian characters, and they
yeah,
didn't.
which is interesting, right?
Yeah.
Mandarin, China and America were the two big superpowers that ended up taking control, but yet there are no Asian people of any sort, really. I don't think that.
And you don't
There's
really.
maybe one
They
or
kept
two.
it American Western for almost everything. They really did
Yes.
not dive in on incorporating more of the culture and behavior and expectation. Like it was just.
And that's
Yeah.
a damn shame because Chinese and Japanese culture and art is so cool. It's, think what you will about their current political systems or their historical political systems. I know that's people like to pick at that stuff as a reason why we should or should not talk about China or admire China, but it's a pretty place. And this is a fictional universe, and they could have picked the coolest parts of America, and they neglected to mention, like, again back to the Confederacy thing, they neglected to mention one of the biggest deals about it.
Mm-hmm.
And and they
we
could
really
have at
think
least
Joss
picked
Whedon
some of
would
the
have done
good
a
stuff out
better
of.
job if Joss Whedon had shown up to set when they were like, all right, so I bought all this Chinese crap at a garage sale, I'm gonna stick it in the show. They've been like, no, just shut the fuck up right now.
Yeah, that's
like,
pretch
they
all
would've done
they
it
did.
terribly.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
they have like Chinese
Okay.
the
Good thing they
parasols.
didn't do it
have
more.
they have some which that the sarong, not sarongs, kimonos. Those are not even Chinese. Those are
Right.
Hanzu or Hanzu. That might be Korean. See, the point is that he wasn't even going directly. He specifically said China and America are the superpowers, but yet
Right.
very little of what Asian culture you see in there is actually Chinese.
Exactly. Yeah. And
So,
they're
frustrating.
very frustrating. There's so much that they could have drawn on and incorporated and did not. And like just
And there's
that
so
was-
many cool legends. Like, they clearly pulled from a lot of American Western legends that y'all, if you haven't really read a lot about American history, about the Wild Wild West, it wasn't all that. It wasn't John Wayne, it wasn't Clint Eastwood, it wasn't. It was way lamer than that.
Well, not only that, but it was way less white than that.
Yes, that too. Way less white, way less male.
Yeah.
The entire state of Wyoming wouldn't exist if it weren't for prostitutes. Like, and not just women, but prostitutes. That profession that y'all love to look down on. I mean, not, like the royal okay. Both of them are out this time.
Yep.
Fucking cat.
Quick, talk crap about Sarah.
There we go.
Okay, stop talking crap about Sarah.
Anyway, yeah, like like people talk down about, and we're meant, like, the show has the captain talking shit about how little he respects the profession of prostitution.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And yet he loves the prostitute that freely and she has no shame about it. She's like, this is my job, this is what I want to do. Like,
yeah,
I mean,
and
we could do a whole show on that part too. Like,
he even says in the first episode, having a companion on board is the reason why they're allowed to dock at a lot of planets. Like, her profession, her sex work is work, and they say that for a reason. It's her job, and she brings a lot to the table as a result, but is just endlessly treated like shit as
it's
a
really
result.
only him, though. At least there's that. I mean,
Yeah, well-
Jane is disrespectful of her too, but Jane's disrespectful of everyone.
Yeah, her clients are also disrespectful on many occasions.
Yep.
And so there's a whole thing going on there. Sarah, did you freeze?
Sarah froze.
Sarah froze.
Uh-oh.
Second episode, even Shepard is like, so we need somebody respectable to go to that town. And they sent her.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And they made it interesting because the women didn't have this problem. Kaylee and Zoe are just perfectly fine with Inara. In fact, they're kind of like they do the little sister, big sister thing for the two of them.
It's raining.
Hooray!
It's raining, and the internet's like, well, I guess I get tonight off.
No downloads, only downpour.
Yep, right back at it.
She probably missed my pun. Damn it, I'll put it in.
Oh
the
yeah,
chat.
no. You hold it over.
At least that's a
But
good, still, it's a good freeze frame though.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, the way that they treated sex work was somewhat accurate, but then also not. Somewhat tied to the times, I imagine.
Yeah.
Why even bother?
Why?
We'll do the rest of the show. Should we start the chat or the quiz while we've still got some internet connection? Here?
Oh my god. Okay, yeah.
All right, let's do
I
closing
have
thoughts
no idea.
first.
Like, for reals, this rain should not be affecting. We have fucking cable internet. It shouldn't be doing a damn thing. I don't know what's the deal is. But anyway, I'm going to cue that up. And yes, final thoughts.
Amanda, closing thoughts. Or final grievances, whatever.
Oh, I mean, we didn't even touch on so many things. It's kind of hard.
Quick, list them off.
The sexism, the white males being in charge of the people of color characters. Why, like, clearly Zoe should have been in charge of the ship. Just like there was a whole lot going on there that could have been different and better, and it would be nice to see that at some point in the future, I suppose. Again, the family aspect was nice. Sabrina.
Joss Whedon sucks. Back to you.
Perfect. No notes.
10-10.
My closing thoughts are keep hard sci-fi coming. Star Trek
It's
is
not
great.
hard
Love Star
sci-fi.
Trek.
It's
What?
not hard sci-fi.
It's not hard, no, but
It's a Western.
It's
It's a little bit of science, but not much.
it's
It's a whole lot of magic.
You're gonna do
space western. It's a space western.
okay.
It's-
Unrelated to Firefly. Give me hard sci-fi.
Yes. Okay. Fair.
I think they could have leaned in more to the sci-fi element of it.
100%. Yes.
It would have been. It wouldn't have suffered. It would have been cool. I like that they had. I like that they like the mechanic. I love that they made the mechanic a woman, and not only that, but there is a whole scene of how she became the mechanic that has her just fucking owning the smartest, the genius mechanic. That was a dude. She wiped the floor with him, and
Oh, yeah.
in the most hilarious way possible too, because like she literally like. I mean, what's the term? It's not. I like the first thing that jumped into my head was cuck, and I'm like, that's not it. That is not it. But maybe a little bit. But
Yeah. She was just so friendly and casual. And the way
Emasculated,
she
yeah.
showed him up. It's just like,
Yeah.
oh, well, yeah, it's probably this.
all right, everybody, y'all, if you watched the show already, you know the drill. Scan the QR code or play.blicket.com into your preferred browser on your preferred device. And enter that number, which is now 6 numbers instead of 7. I just noticed that. Was that way?
That
Well, I
changed
don't know
last
if it was
week
that way
with the
last
update
week,
from
because last week we didn't get to play the quiz because last week Blicket just wouldn't load at all.
But yes, it was
Yeah.
1 digit shorter.
That's fair, which is nice because
Yeah.
6 is already like my limit. If all those authentication apps had more than 6, and then they also very helpfully split it into 2 groups of 3. That's nice. Well, mine does. My authenticator app does. Anyway, anybody who's watching, you're eligible. I forgot to upload. It's this little cutesy design of Serenity.
Oh.
But I forgot to upload it, and it's not done anyway because I just don't manage time well. I mean, I'd like to say it's just because I just didn't have time, but I was absolutely not busy enough to justify that. I can't back that up. And I also feel weird lying about it because you guys can laugh at my expense. It's fine.
We're all doing the best we can in this hellscape together.
Yep.
I've been collecting them. I haven't been sending them out because I'm printing these onesie twosies at home, and I'm waiting till I get a full sheet because I don't want to waste the paper. Because I'm also going to laminate them to make them nice and shiny for you guys.
Cool.
And that's why if you won one a month ago, you still haven't gotten it because I'm doing that. So it's fine. It's free, so I can't imagine anybody really cares that much that they haven't gotten their sticker yet.
Demanding their money back.
I was getting pretty close. I was putting RoboCop on there last week, and I was getting pretty close. Like, there's possibly, I might have to just put another smaller sticker on there and make a double of it because I was getting pretty close to full on there. And so then I can put those through and mail everybody their stickers and then start over again. And is anybody from the chat gonna join us? I'm guessing that Kyron already popped out
Probably.
because he usually has to go for he's got supper duty, I think. Dinner duty.
Mm-hmm.
Dinner for all you town people.
Maybe we should
I
move
s-
the quiz to the front.
Yeah, no shit.
Then we can talk about all the elements that came up in the quiz. I don't hate that idea.
That's a good point. 'Cause
Kind of an
like there's
icebreaker.
stuff that's in this that doesn't have. Yeah, we can talk about that. So like the cable shouldn't actually be getting affected at all, but I am looking out there and it is a decent amount of storm happening. So
Very nice. Hopefully we will get through it safely.
although I will be honest, I'm looking at the street lamps swaying in the breeze there, and I'm like, they are kind of shitty street lamps though, so maybe that's all it is. I'll try and finish that sticker tomorrow, and then I'll post it up on the socials. So it'll be I'll go Blue Sky, Instagram, Facebook. So if you guys want to see it, that's where you'll be able to find it. Hopefully tomorrow, but sometime this week for sure. And then I should probably get started on next week's one, which I am going to have to consult Brian for assistance on because I don't know what to do.
Which is it next week? Is that
Sunshine.
Sunshine?
Yeah. Can I just draw a big sun with like a smiley face? It's fine. That fits in with the amount of time I have this week, so perfect. Let's do it.
I can draw that.
All right.
Do
It seems
gradients.
like we've got as many people as we're gonna get. So
Let's do it. Hey, we can talk about it.
someday my art is going to be so good from drawing these stickers. I'm gonna be my sticker game is gonna be so fucking tight, and just hundreds of people are gonna be fighting to get into this quiz so that they can have a chance to win one of my toit stickers. That just sounds gross though. Toit.
Been watching a lot of Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Brooklyn
I see.
Nine-Nine, yeah. We were big on that last week. I don't know. I don't remember why. It was an internet thing again, and we have that downloaded, so that was why, probably. Anyway, let's do this.
Do it.
I
Hey, we can talk about it during the quiz because we're all here.
Yeah. What was the name of the planet where Shepherd Book lives? This is specifically Serenity. All right, who's having trouble? Oh, thank God. I was like, no, we were doing so well. I can skip now. Incorrect. You guys are all incorrect.
We're
It
all
was
in
Haven.
first.
It was Haven. On
It was
Serenity.
Haven. I
Yeah.
wasn't thinking
Click
Serenity
first
at
one I
all.
saw.
Yeah,
Whatever.
Yeah, to be fair, we barely talked about it in here. What's the name of Jane's favorite gun? Like, everybody knows this one, right? Yeah, Brian's faster, though. Y'all need to get as fast as
half a
Brian. Like,
second.
he's just cheating. It's a cheat. I haven't
Except when
figured out
Amanda
how,
wins.
but... Yeah, but Amanda's not you. Amanda hasn't been winning every single damn sticker every week.
I haven't won every week.
I'm suspicious, okay?
Once in a while. I lost to Amanda. I definitely lost the Jaws one. Like,
Oh yeah, Steph kicked all our asses in Jaws.
thoroughly.
Okay, Amanda's still in the lead though.
Yeah, so I don't want to hear it.
You know what? I don't know how sad this is, but I didn't have to look up any of the names of the planets. They just popped into my head. I know all the places that they talk about in this fucking show.
Tell me you're a nerd without telling me.
Yeah, no shit. Ugh. Whoa! Whoa! Okay, it's getting really intense outside now. It's serious because Jeffrey's coming and he's pulling the blinds to watch. That's how you know it's... No, it's like I can't see...
It's only serious when all the cats start watching, too.
Okay, when that happens, I actually panic and start saying maybe we should go get into the bathtub because there's a tornado coming. Now, this was a question that I'm seeing now was maybe poorly worded.
No, it's perfect.
Okay. They were at that when the episode where
Bias.
Simon got kidnapped, and Inara and Kaylee were talking about the swans. It's getting really loud. Like, you guys can't hear it because of Chris, but holy shit, it's
I-
loud in here.
Yeah,
You
it's
might be
coming
able to
through
hear it a little.
which means it must be very loud.
Oh yeah, it's like right through my earbuds. And the skylight's right there, though, to be fair. We have a skylight because we're fancy. This one technically has 2 answers because she does most of the cooking on the ship, too.
What? The girl next door does most of the cooking. Shocker.
Weird, right? That one, I'll give him that. I will not charge Joss with that offense because she's also the mechanic.
Oh, no, I will.
Okay. Jesus Christ.
I wouldn't forgive anyone who said cook.
They made her the girl next door, and then they nerf her to be like, she's brilliant but awkward, and because of the boy, and
Yeah, and she was never the awkward one. It was always him.
That
He was
trope
the
can
idiot.
die.
Oh, y'all just jumped straight to Mandarin. That was good. Okay, so this is purely a speed thing, isn't it? Because y'all got most of the same answers.
I got
Which-
a bunch wrong in the beginning.
Did you? Oh, that's...
yeah, I mean, it's not purely speed. As long as you get
You
some
report
right
now.
and have the speed.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
do get them all wrong, but yeah, it's
Okay.
definitely skewed for.
Oh, no,
quick
you
read,
all got
quick
the same
snap.
amount. Look at that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just which
Then
ones.
It did come down to speed.
Yeah.
Yep.
And for, like, we didn't talk... I mean, that's the thing about this quiz is, like, we're not necessarily going to talk about it, so there might be something on the quiz, because I wrote it I wrote it, hours ago. If I write it in a day that isn't Monday, that's weird. And you should ask me if I'm okay, because if I'm that caught up and, like, that on top of my stuff, then something big and important got forgotten, and I should be
We're
worried.
like, guys, I got the correct amount of sleep last night. We're like, is everyone all right?
So
I was hoping for like what animal did they have in their cargo hold? Cows.
yeah, I did. I noticed that was a really popular one to keep throwing in, because I do look at other people's quizzes sometimes, and I wrote all the questions for this one, and then I was like, you know what? I usually do that. I'm gonna go do that this time and see if there's any cute ones. And a lot of them had the cow thing in there.
Really?
A
Oh, I
lot.
just like the cows. That was cute.
Yeah, it was. I did. That was one of the things, though. As the person who grew up on a farm, and the way that they're talking about the cows, I'm like, nope, that's not right. Nope.
Oh
you're
yeah,
wrong.
no, not accurate
Super
at all.
wrong.
But interesting. Like, is it this great juxtaposition of like farm and organic life, and then putting them in on the
Space.
spaceship, the very sterile environment, and cows are the opposite of sterile.
Yeah, and that's I was very glad that they did point out that was extremely disgusting, and that it stunk for weeks, and it was bad. Like they pointed out the right things that would go wrong. That wasn't the only thing, because like there was a very non-zero chance of at least one of those animals in that close enclosed space passing away, and like what would they do with it? I'm curious, because like the Western answer is, well, you eat it, right? Obviously, but you can't
Obviously.
eat all of it. What do you do with the parts that you can't eat? Where does it go?
And do you
You
butcher it
freeze
in
it.
front of the other cows?
I mean, because yeah, you keep all the meat, you keep all the good stuff, and no, you wouldn't want to do that in front of the other cows.
Oh yeah, no, that's a
But-
very bad idea.
But yeah, like, and the cows were in the only place that they had space to process an entire cow, and ask
Medical
me
bay.
how I know that.
They could do it in the medical bay.
Oh, I don't know. That's pretty tight quarters too.
It's dead at that
They
point.
didn't
though,
have
so-
high ceilings there.
It's the low ceilings. I was like thinking, where would you hang it? You have to hang it. But anyway, yeah, I was like that. But like, they would keep like all the meat, but then like there's the discards, the stuff that they aren't gonna eat. What are they gonna do with that? There's a lot of stuff that like, you know, the skin can be leather, that can be tanned. Did they have the stuff for that? We don't know. I'll give them
They
that.
just face it.
But like, how do you get the parts that you're definitely not? And like, that was so much cow poop. Where did they put the cow poop?
That part. Again,
Did
they probably
just
just
eject
shoved
it
it out
into
there.
space?
100%.
Which
Out
is
in-
fine, I guess.
Airlock time. Just, yeah. Hope it hits the Reaver ship at some point.
Yeah.
Did
I'm
the
sad
main
that I-
cargo bay have a airlock?
They had the
Because it was like a
Yeah,
big
they-
old door, and that's not an
the
airlock.
thing that because when he was terrorizing Jane for turning on Simon and River, a thing I didn't even get the opportunity to talk about how much I fucking hate Jane. Like, he was the worst part of this show. And he could have been a perfectly he could have been better. It could have been better. Didn't have to be the way it was.
Oh,
His
yeah.
character, like
But also
Sabrina
the
said,
actor
a lot
kind
of
of sucks
potential.
too. I learned
but-
that. Like, the actor is a problematic guy.
Yeah.
What is it with those Baldwins? I don't know about those Baldwins.
So next
But-
week I'm doing the quiz.
Yeah,
Which is a shame because Alan Tudyk was in this episode, but not. He's
oh
not
my
in
god,
Sunshine.
we didn't talk about Alan Tudyk at all.
I think Alan Tudyk's entire direction was on this was, hey, go stand in front of that camera and be Alan Tudyk, and then he was like, I got this.
That's
then
the
he did.
one. Yeah, that was the one show where he is he is that character as Alan Tudyk as that character. Like, I think that
Yep.
was just Alan Tudyk as yeah. I mean, we got introduced to him in the best way possible. I mean, that was such a great introduction scene. And the fact that they aired when they originally aired these, they aired them out of order,
Yep.
which ruined it
Yep.
for the people who were watching it for the first time.
Yep.
Yep. I walked away. I was just like, oh, because I got 2 out of order. I was like, nope, this show is not for me. And then I actually saw the on DVD
that.
series and was like, oh, this is
Did
really
you?
good.
Yeah, it's getting kind of hairy over here. It's not the worst I've ever seen or anything. Oh, the Midwest, but that was impressive. I heard that and you heard that. It's thunderstorming, in case you guys didn't know. So, all right. Yeah, we didn't talk about a lot. I'm so tired, but this was a good conversation that woke me up a
Started
little
on
bit.
time. We're pretty much finished on time. We got through the entire quiz. Amanda, did you get kicked out of the quiz?
Something bad's gonna happen, you guys. There is a tornado, isn't there?
That's some pea-sized hail.
Some hail? He's saying there's hail.
Besides,
It sounded like it.
Yeah. That's cool because we don't have garages, so that's
yeah,
fun.
That's fun.
super swell.
Remember to
My
file
car's
the
already-
insurance early and often.
Yeah, my car's already full of a lot of hail dents, so it's like you won't notice new ones. I won't notice new ones. It's the rust hides it. It's fine. All right. Yeah. So next week, Gerald von Stoddard's gonna be here. Pretty excited about that. Not just because he's coming and we're all excited to talk to him because he's super cool, but also he's gonna be giving away an original watercolor.
Ooh,
Like it's not even a print. It's like he's legit giving away one of his watercolors.
very nice.
I mean, seriously, and it's really cool. And I think that it's on. I gotta go. I gotta go to YouTube to find this out for sure because I'm pretty sure I put it on the thumbnail, but I don't want to lie to you and say that I did if I'm not sure. But also, going to YouTube while we're streaming, that's playing with fire. I think
It really, really is.
I'm gonna do it anyway. Holy
Auto
shit!
starting videos
Chernobyl
are
just popped
still
up.
terrible.
Let's talk about
didn't say it.
Chernobyl. Oh no, I did. It is. It's on
I
there.
can end the show.
It's on there. Okay, we have agitated cats. Maybe I should get off of here and start paying attention to the weather just in case.
Sounds like a plan.
You know, when the cats get agitated, then, it's a thing. But
Mm-hmm.
All right, so yeah, Sunshine, Gerald von Stoddard, original art,
Kick-ass quiz.
good quiz, yeah. That I
Allegedly.
can play. I get to play the quiz. Wouldn't it be hilarious if I played the quiz and I won the damn thing, and then I was like, yay, I get to not print a sticker this week. That's what I get to do.
Well, in this case, you might get a watercolor.
I might, yeah. I'm pretty excited about that. I'm not gonna lie.
Heard that. Better wrap before it gets any weirder.
All right.
All right.
Yeah, go back Noctiluca, or at least go look at it, because, like, I can see when you've looked at it, and if you can't back or don't want to back, but you want to support me, you can, like, share, comment, do all those things on the stuff that you see, and, like, don't get blown away by the tornado that's definitely coming, and, I think that's everything, so, yeah, bye!
Bye.
Bye, everyone.